Some people don't like the wrap and turn method, and really it's just what you like to work. There's no right or wrong here. Another way of achieving the same result is using a yarn over. So I knit across to the point where I wish to turn, or the pattern tells me to turn. I turn and then work a yarn over on the right hand needle, and this is going to seem potentially like a funny maneuver, but you just create a yarn over on the right hand needle. Make sure you pull it, you don't want it to be too sloppy, and then work across. And the pattern will always tell you the number of stitches to work between the turns, and sometimes it gives you an absolute number, like my beloved Lizard Ridge. It tells you knit 8, wrap and turn, purl 7, wrap and turn. Sometimes it's telling you how many stitches to work relative to the previous wrap. Okay, on the purl side I will work the stitch that I need to, turn my work. These needles bang together and make noise. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is just make sure that yarn over gets created on the right hand needle. Okay. Knit a couple of stitches so you can see it. So here what we've got is, there's the turn gaps, and then you've got these funny little extra loops of yarn. Those were those yarn overs, and if you look at them on the back side, they're not full stitches. And again, like the wrap, they're sort of snugged up beside those stitches. Turns out these are actually exactly the same as the wrap and turn, but instead of wrapping it around the stitch, that little collar of yarn, all I did was I put it around the needle. And it's really your preference as to which you like. They create the same solution. When I hit that, you see that yarn over and the neighboring stitch, you just work them together and closes it up in exactly the same way. And on the purl side, so let's turn my work here, and this is typically what happens with a pattern. You'll be working wrap and turns and working the wrap stitches together with their wraps, or hiding the wraps in succession like I am doing here. And when I purl across, okay, and what we want to do here, here's the wrap on the purl side. Right? This is where we have to pay a tiny little bit of attention, because we want to make sure that the wrap gets flipped to the wrong side. If I just purl these two together, we take a peek, see, you can see the wrap on the right hand side. So it's not a straight purl two together. Let's undo this. You would not be undoing these, of course. I'm just undoing them so you can see them. So there's my yarn over, and what we're actually going to have to do is a purl two together through the back loop. So this might be your decision factor on which you prefer. See there, my wrap is now flipped to the wrong side. So do you prefer a wrap and turn and lifting the wraps, or do you prefer a purl two together through the back loop? Knitter's choice, I would say, and our wraps are hidden. So there's a wrap on this side and the wrap is hidden on this side. And here's another subtlety. At this gauge, it may not, it's very visible. At other gauges, it may not matter. Do you see how that stitch was twisted? That's because we did a purl two together through the back loop. See, what seemed like a simple solution starts to change here. That's a purl two together through the back loop, and it twists that top stitch. In the bulky yarn, you can see that. Worsted weight? Not necessarily. Certainly not a sock gauge. What you could also do, instead of a purl two together through the back loop there, you could do an SSP. Food for thought.